okay, I need to go back to the drawing board and find my right niche. There's some very simple things that you can kind of check with yourself, a little mental checklist, if you will, to determine if you have picked the right niche. If you're wondering what those boxes are and how to know if you've picked the right niche, you're in luck because we're gonna get into it right now. Hey, Courtney Sanders here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to me, I'm a full-time online life and business coach as well as wife and mom. I wear all the hats and do all the things. And I've been wearing all the hats and doing all the things since like 2009. I actually got online in 2009, first started in blogging, and then I got into coaching in 2014. And then I've been full-time since 2016. So I'm starting to feel like an old head in this industry. I've been doing this for a very long time, but I wouldn't have been successful had I not picked the right niche. And picking the right niche is not necessarily what you think it is. I know it's a lot of like, oh, do I need to do market research and demographic data? And there's some very simple things that you can kind of check with yourself, a little mental checklist, if you will, to determine if you have picked the right niche. And so I'm thinking about this very heavily right now because I'm working with a new client that I'm very excited about, and I know her business is just gonna blow up. And she was kind of like, are you sure? Like, is this really a thing? Are people gonna pay for this? And I'm like, oh my goodness, you don't understand how amazing this niche is. Like, your niche is perfect, and I knew it was perfect. And in particular, that it was perfect for her because it checked all these boxes. So if you're wondering what those boxes are and how to know if you've picked the right niche, you're in luck because we're gonna get into it right now. All right, the first sign or the first way to know that you have picked the right niche is if your niche is in something that people ask you about all the time. Here's the thing, I see so many business owners, so many online coaches who want to break into this industry because, you know, it's something that, you know, they're particularly into. It's like a personal interest of theirs. You know, maybe they are interested in, I don't know, meditation, or maybe they are interested in journaling, or I don't know. They're interested in whatever they're interested in. And so they're like, oh, because I'm interested in this, I'm gonna turn this into a niche. And it's not necessarily that any of those are bad niches, but your personal interest in that alone is not enough. You need to know that people are interested in it and they're interested in it from you. And one of the greatest ways to validate that people are interested in it from you is if you're getting all these questions from people asking you about this very thing. So if you're not sure if your niche is the right niche for you, be honest with yourself and ask yourself, do people ask you about this all the time? In fact, that's how I got started in self-discipline. So if you've been around my channel for a while, I've told my story, but I originally started in life coaching, and I'm still a life coach, but a business coach as well. But when I first got started in life coaching, my niche was really around the arena of self-discipline because people asked me about that all the time. And I was like, is this even a thing? Like, why are you guys asking me about this? But they had seen my journey and they were like, wow, we admire how you were building this business on the side where you were working full time. We followed your blog and we've heard about your journey and all these different things that you've done to master your self-discipline. I wish I were as disciplined as you. How are you so disciplined? And that's when I was like, okay, I guess I'll create a program on it. So regardless of what you want your niche to be honest with yourself and ask yourself, do people ask you about it all the time? Because if they do ask you about it all the time, that's a good sign that you're in the right niche. All right, the next way that you can know that you've picked the right niche is if you enjoy talking about this. So I get it, maybe people ask you about things all the time that you're like, I don't care about this, I don't want to talk about this. Okay, maybe that is not the right niche. But if you can find something that is a combination of something that people ask you about all the time, and I say that this needs to be something that you actually enjoy talking about, because if you've been around my channel at all, you know that I talk a lot around brand building and being consistent when it comes to content creation, because content is one of the key things that you are going to need to create and that you're going to need to create a lot of in order to attract clients, especially in this day and age. So I always say that we are not Amazon, we are not Walmart, we're not Target, we're not these huge conglomerates that have millions and millions and maybe even billions of dollars to put behind advertising campaigns. And so one of the greatest things for small business owners and for online entrepreneurs is simply to market yourself online through content marketing on social media. But it's very difficult to market yourself through content on social media if you always have to talk about something that you hate talking about. So all of these steps that I'm going to be giving you really kind of layer on top of each other, and it's important that your niche check all the boxes, not just one or two. But yes, you want to have a niche around something that people ask you about all the time, but it also needs to be something that you actually enjoy talking about, because how else are you going to create a bunch of content on it? All right, the next sign that you have picked the right niche, and this is something that a lot of people miss, is that people are already paying for it. Now, whatever your niche is, they might not be paying for it from you, but it should be something that people in some way, in some capacity, are already paying for. For example, let's say you get asked all the time how you found the love of your life after, divorce or something like that. And so you're thinking about going into the niche of relationship coaching, but you're like, oh, should I niche this down to divorcees that are looking to, find love again? Well, one, are people asking you about that all the time? Okay, great. Is it something that you enjoy talking about? When people ask you, do you enjoy sharing your story about, how you found your spouse? And so now the next thing that you need to ask yourself is, are people already paying for this? Meaning, are they buying books on this subject? Are they attending conferences, on this subject? Are there other coaches that they're already investing with? Again, it doesn't need to be that they are already spending money with you, but are they already spending money in some capacity on this arena? If so, that is a good sign that you are definitely in the right niche. I remember when I had my daughter and I told my parents that I had bought a course online about sleep training, they were like astounded that there were people online who are making a full-time living teaching new parents how to get their babies to sleep. But I knew firsthand that that was an excellent niche to be in, because that was something that I was actively paying for. And not only was I actively paying for courses and coaching on that subject, I had just spent okay, don't laugh at me. I think it was close to $2,000. I spent $2,000 on this magical crib. I won't even name what the crib is. To be honest, I don't remember what it was called, but I do remember what it was called, but I'm not gonna call it out. But there was a particular crib that was making the rounds on social media that I wanna say at the time cost $2,000. And yes, your girl bought it. I bought it, I sent it back though, because it didn't work. I sent it back, but I bought it at the time because I was desperate to get my daughter to sleep, right? I was a super tired mom. And so imagine if I would have had a client who's like, hey, I'm thinking about getting into coaching around sleep training. This is something that people ask me about all the time, whatever. I'm a mom of 6 kids, or maybe I'm not a mom, but I have a ton of younger siblings and nieces and nephews, and I've gotten them all to sleep through the night, by 4 months. And people ask me all the time how I've been able to do that, and I love children and I love talking about this, but do you think that this is a good niche? I would say yes, it's definitely a good niche, because I just spent $2,000 on this crib that was supposed to get my baby to sleep and it didn't work. So this is what I'm saying. Look at where they're already spending money, even if they're not spending money with you, and even if they're not spending money in coaching or courses per se, are they spending money on other products in order to solve that problem? If so, that's a good sign that you're in the right niche. All right, I have more where that came from, but first I want to hear from you. What niche are you in? Share in the comments below. All right, the next thing that you need to look for, and again, this is going to make some people mad, but you're in the right niche if not only are people paying money for it, but people are paying a lot of money for it. Here's the thing, I'm just going to be honest with you. I've already said it in this video. You are not Amazon, you are not Walmart, you are not Target, you are not some major conglomerate that has big backers behind you and is publicly traded, where you can afford to sell lower ticket products because you are hitting the masses. After your business has grown, then sure, you can come up with those products because you don't have to rely on them, right? So for where I am in my business, I absolutely could sell low ticket products and would do fine at it because of the audience that I have developed. But when you are first getting started, you actually can't afford to sell low ticket things. You want to start at the higher end, because starting at the higher end is going to help you generate the revenue needed in order to build your business. And so this is why I'm saying, when you are first starting in the niche, yes, you want to pick a niche that people are spending money on, but you want to pick a niche that people are spending a lot of money on. Because if people are, they're spending money on it, but they're only spending 10 or 20 bucks, you're going to have difficulty attracting the volume of clients that you need in order to be profitable within that niche. So this is where a lot of niches, unfortunately, get canceled, and where people get really upset because, they're super passionate about this particular niche and I want to build my business on this thing. But just being honest, maybe people aren't spending money in that arena, or if they are spending money in that arena, they're not spending a lot of money in that arena. So it doesn't have to be all people spending a lot of money, but is there some segment of that target market somewhere spending a lot of money? So back to my sleep training example, if a client that I was working with was looking to get into, say, sleep training or baby sleep coaching, that would still be a great niche, because while not every parent is buying a $2,000 crib, a lot of parents are, right? And I was one of them before I sent it back, not because I didn't want to spend the money, but because it just simply didn't work. But the fact that there were parents who were willing to spend thousands of dollars on a crib is a good sign that someone in that niche would do well, because people are willing to spend a lot of money on it. So I know it's gonna throw some cold water on some people, but again, I want you to actually succeed. I want you to actually be able to quit your job, or maybe if you're already an entrepreneur and you're moving into this arena and you want to do this full time and you want this to be worth your while, I want you to be successful. And so I'm telling you the truth. You need to pick a niche that people are not only spending money in, but they're spending a lot of money in. All right, the next sign that you have picked the right niche is something that is a little less tangible, but it's very, very important. In fact, it's probably one of the most important things on this list. And that is, you know you are in the right niche if you have picked a niche that you embody. So part of the reason why I'm really excited about the client that I mentioned at the top of this video, why I'm helping grow her business, and I told her she's in an amazing niche and she's gonna make a ton of money and it's gonna be so successful, is because she embodies the very niche that she is in. A lot of people miss this. They have a lot of head knowledge around whatever it is that they teach or that they coach on, but they themselves don't exude that. So imagine if you were a career coach and you were teaching people how to be, confident in their career, or confident when they're asking for a raise or a promotion. You better be a very confident person. When I see you online, when I see you in your videos, when I see you on social media, when I see you in real life, or maybe you host an event and I see you in person, if you're not walking around as a confident person, where when everybody says your name, they're like, oh yeah, she's really confident. I love, learning from her. I just love how she presents herself. She's super confident. If that's not something people are saying about you, then you might not be the person to actually coach in that arena, because you are coaching in an arena that you don't embody. So this is what I'm saying. You need to make sure that you are showing up and being the person, not just being someone who knows particularly about that head knowledge. And in fact, I talk about this a lot, pretty much in all of my programs. My program, The Package, dealt with this almost just exclusively. Again, not just how to create packages that sell, but how to be the package that sells. And so if you want to learn more about that, you can click the link below. But I also teach this in detail in my signature program, the Next Big Name Bootcamp, precisely because this is so important when you are starting your business, or even after you've started your business, but you're trying to grow it and attract more clients. If you're not embodying the thing that you sell, people can sense it on you and they're just like, I'm gonna go with someone else, because yeah, while on paper you might know what you're talking about, you don't seem like the kind of person who represents whatever it is that you are coaching on. So make sure that you embody whatever you are coaching on, not just that you have head knowledge. And if you are embodying the particular niche that you are in, then you know that you're in the right place. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it and you're like, okay, I need to go back to the drawing board and find my right niche, then you are gonna love my Nail Your Niche Challenge. This is a live 5-day challenge that I do that walks you through the process of absolutely nailing your perfect, most profitable niche. Now, I've been doing this challenge for a while, but I cannot promise that I'm gonna continue to do it forever. In fact, this is something that we're looking to kind of, transition out of, but it's very difficult for me because so many people who go through this challenge get amazing results. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do it again. So as I am recording this video, it is still live. You can click the link below in order to sign up, and I'll see you on the challenge and help you nail your niche. All right, thanks so much for watching this video. If you loved it, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you can't wait for my next video, make sure you're subscribed to my podcast, The Courtney Sanders Show, on both iTunes and Spotify. And if you can't wait for my next podcast episode or my next YouTube video, make sure you are following me on Instagram. It's CourtneyLSanders on Instagram. And with that, I'll see you in the next video. Bye.